Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Nicole with Made from Scrap, and today I am sharing with you a quick project. I'm going to do the walkthrough of this little Trifold Folio, and then I'll also share with you the tutorial right afterwards. So right on the front cover of this 6.5 inch wide by 8.5 inch Trifold, and this measures 3/4 of an inch and then a 1/2 inch over here with another 1/4 inch for this top flap. So this is the front, side, and back, and this is the other side. And then it opens up like so. This is a magnet. I'm using the mirror card that is from Country Craft Creations, and this is Echo Park's collection that is Stars and Stripes Forever. So really fun. I used a couple of dies from my stash. I went ahead and cut out a couple of the scrap pieces that I had. I have the sticker pieces layered on here, one of the cut aparts here, and then I used a gel pen to make the strings longer. There is a sticker under here of the balloons, and I added a couple of the die cuts, like I said, with a little bit of glossy accents on 2 of those balloons. So I thought that was really fun, and here's a couple of flatbacks from my stash. So open it up here, like I said. Here's another card that I used on the inside of that to cover the magnet, and a couple of strips of the mirror card. Then on the inside here I have a nice spot for a photo, one of the cut aparts, another sticker from the collection. You have this large flap here on the inside, so you have a nice big spot to journal or add another photo. Then you flip this over and you can see that I have a smaller flap here, and I used another one of the cut apart pieces from the 12 by 12 collection there and just popped it up on a couple of foam dots. And then you open this up, and I put just another little spot here for a photo with a sticker and a little tiny journaling spot there. I layered up a couple more of the faux balloons from a die from my stash, like I said, with a little bit of gel pen, so that I just made another little place to stick a photo. And that is the left hand side. Super simple. On the right hand side you have a nice spot here that you can add a very large photo. You open it up and it's the same thing on the inside, another large spot to add a photo. You have the sticker here that I'm using, one of the cut aparts. I have one of the cut aparts, like I said, another spot here. I used for the folio itself 100-pound cardstock, and then a couple of the photo mats. I used the leftovers from some of the cut down pages that I had, but otherwise for the flaps I used the regular artisan cardstock. I think it's 83-pound. So anyway, that's the large flap on the right hand side. Then again you have this smaller flap here, so I have a sticker, plenty of spot for a photo and journaling, some of the solids that is part of that collection, another one of the stickers here, and then I layered up the border sticker with the hat, one of the cut aparts that I cut down and just centered on this flap. So you have this center flap that comes down, you have another spot for a photo or here, and then this also flips up like so, and I made another spot for a photo. And then on the center piece here you have a pocket to put additional photos or just odds and ends that you pick up. And then of course I had some of the cut aparts. So I think that was super fun. And you can tell that I did you might be able to tell that I did the color scheme of basically red, white, and blue. I thought that was neat. Anyway, it's very simple to put together, so let's go ahead and start with that tutorial. Okay, let's get started with the tutorial. First we're going to start with 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11. I'm using the 100-pound cardstock. This is white. And we're going to place the first sheet in our scoreboard with the 11 inches at the top, and we're going to score it at 6.5 inches all the way down, and then we're going to score it at 7.25 inches. That's going to give us the 3/4 inch gusset, okay, for one side of our folio. And then we're going to take our second sheet of 8.5 by 11, again with the 11 inches at the top, and you're going to score that first one at 6.5 inches and the second score at 7 inches. So that's going to give us a 1/2 inch of gusset, okay? And that is going to be our right-hand side of our folio, okay? So set those two pieces aside. Next, you're going to use, I'm using a 12 by 12 sheet of artisan white cardstock, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that down so that I have a piece that measures 12 inches wide by 6 1/4 inches in height. Okay, and with the 12 inches at the top of your scoreboard, I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch and then at 8 inches. Okay, that's going to be the top flap. So you're going to have the 1/2 inch that you fold back, and then you have this bottom piece that you fold up. Okay, set this aside. That's going to be the top flap, like I said. Okay, and the bottom section of that 12 by 12 is going to leave you with two pieces. Oops. That measure 5 3/4 inches, right? That's the leftover piece of that 12 by 12. You're going to go ahead and cut that in half at 6 inches so that you end up with two pieces that measure 6 by 5 3/4 inches, okay? We're going to place each one of those in our scoreboard with the 5 3/4 inches at the top. You're going to score that at 1/2 inch. So we're going to do it again with the 5 3/4 inches at the top, and you're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Okay, and that's going to be one of our flaps. Those are going to be both one of our flaps. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is take out one more piece of 12 by 12 paper, and you're going to go ahead like so. You're going to go ahead and cut the 12 by 12 down at 8 inches. Okay, so you end up with a cut like so. And then you're going to take that 8-inch piece and you're going to cut it in half right at 6 inches so that you end up with two pieces that measure 8 by 6. Okay, you're going to put both of those in your scoreboard with the 6 inches at the top, and you're going to go ahead and score it at the 1/2 inch mark. Okay, those are going to be our side flaps. So here's the second one, again with the 6 inches at the top, score it at 1/2 inch. And that's going to be our second side flap. Okay, the bottom section of that last 12 by 12 is going to leave you with a piece that measures 4 inches, and then you're going to go ahead and cut that down at 4.5 inches. Okay, so you'll be left with a piece that measures 4.5 by 4 by 4.5. I put the 4 inch at the top, and I'm going to score that at 1/2 inch. Okay, and then you're going to be left with this piece that measures 7.5 inches by 4 inches, and we're going to score that with the 7.5 inches at the top, 1/2 inch on either side, and then so on both sides 1/2 inch. Okay, and then on one of the long sides. So along the 4 inches at the top, you're going to go ahead and score it at 1/2 inch. This way you end up with score lines on 3 sides, 2 short sides and 1 long, and this is going to create our pocket. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out those small corner sections. Okay, and then I like to fold over the sides first, and then fold up for the bottom. And that creates our pocket. And we use our bone folder. Go ahead and give that a crease. Okay, and that's going to be our pocket for the inside of our folio. Now we're going to go ahead and place this together. So start with your two original pieces. You're going to have the one with the 1/2 inch gusset on the right hand side, one with the 3/4 inch gusset on your left. And we're going to, those longer pieces are going to be on top. So one folds in like this. They're going to overlap. okay? Which means that we want our middle section in between all of the score lines to end up being 6.5 inches. So go ahead and use your mat if you have it. If not, you can always use your scoreboard as well to line these up. So we want this to be 6.5 inches. That means I'm going to line us up right here. Okay. Remember that last piece that we folded is going to end up being the pocket, and that's going to sit right here. So you can do a dry fit of your pocket and make sure that it's going to fit, okay? So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to go ahead and glue that down. So I'm going to use double-sided score tape. You can use red line tape as well. I'm going to go ahead and place it along the edge of this piece and then on the back side of the second piece. Okay. Go ahead and give that a burnish. Make sure none of the glue is overlapping. Okay. Line this back up on my grid, because once I stick it down, that's it. That's going to be stuck down. Got a bit of glue hanging over. Make sure that's cleaned up. Alrighty. And burnish. Okay. And just like that, we have our folio together. Right goes in, the left goes in. And that's that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and use my glue. Remember, this pocket, the last thing that we did, is going to go right here in the center. Open up my glue. Place glue on 3 sides on those flaps. Then go ahead and place that down right in the center. It should be spaced where you are not overlapping any of those score marks. Okay. All right, next we're going to take that top flap. Remember, this has a 1/2 inch flap at the top. We're going to go ahead and place our glue on that 1/2 inch. My glue is a little bit stuck. Or maybe not. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, now this is going to be centered in between those score lines right at the top as well. And this should be sized to where you have 1/8 of an inch on either side of the width of the flap. Okay, it's like so. Okay. And you should have your 2 smaller size flaps. Go ahead and burnish that. Okay. Burnish these as well, the larger, taller flaps. Okay, so what I'm going to do, yeah, okay. I'm going to go ahead and place glue on the back side of the taller flap. Okay, and you want the 1/2 inch to be tucked underneath. And then I'm going to go ahead and center this top to bottom. And I want to be just to the right of that outer score line. So you should be seeing your 1/2 inch gusset on the right hand side still. Okay, and then you're going to have your smaller flap, okay, and that is going to be lined up on the left hand side. Is that how I want it? Yep. Now you have a choice. You can either tuck the 1/2 inch, oops, let me get in frame, tuck the 1/2 inch underneath and glue it right on top of this open flap, or you can glue it to the back side of the page. Either one will work. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue it with the flap down. So the 1/2 inch flap down. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and center that, just eyeball center it, just like so. Okay. Open that up. So we have this that opens, I have this that folds back, and then you have this right hand side that is all on that 1/2 inch gusset. Okay. Now we're going to work on the left hand side. Okay. I'm going to start with that taller flap. Again, we're going to have the 1/2 inch tucked underneath, so let me place glue on that 1/2 inch. Just like so. And I'm going to put this just to the left of the outside score line. And again, I'm going to center it from top to bottom, just eyeball center it. Okay. Burnish that down. So open it up this way. I have my 1/2 inch flap there that I just glued down. Okay. Then I have my shorter flap. I'm going to place glue on that 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the opposite of what I just did on the right hand side. I'm going to mirror it, I should say. So I'm going to center it top to bottom and place it right on the left hand side. So let me go ahead and place something underneath so you can see where I am. Okay, just like that. Need some contrasting color. Okay, so now you have this smaller flap. You have the larger flap. It sits just to the right of the just to the left of the 3/4 inch gusset there. Okay, so you have those, and then you have your outside folio piece. Now what I'm going to do to hold all this closed is I have this small piece here. Okay, and you can go ahead and magnetize your cover so that it stays shut by placing this here. So if this was the page front, I could tuck underneath this 1/2 inch flap, underneath that folio page, and put a magnet here to here, or have a tie closure, just depending on how you want to decorate it. So let me put it this way. Okay. And that would look fantastic. You could magnetize it right to your sheets underneath. But in order to hold it closed, what I'm going to do is work on this the top of the right hand side flap for the folio. I'm going to go ahead and place glue on my flap here. And then I'm going to, let's see, put a little off center. Oop, no, wait a minute. I want to add another 1/4 inch gusset to this. So before I glue it down, I'm glad I caught myself. I'm going to take my scoreboard, And this little piece that measured 4 inches wide by 4.5 inches, you had scored it at 1/2 inch, and you want to score it at 3/4 inch. Okay, you're going to create a little 1/4 inch gusset there, just like so. Okay, put that scoreboard away. Now we're going to grab this small piece here, and we're going to place glue on our 1/2 inch flap. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up the left hand side fully, and then I'm going to fold this back so that the gusset is flattened out. See that? Okay, and I have the 1/2 inch tucked underneath, and that way I can place this down on the top of my right hand folio cover piece and burnish that down just like that. And I still have my 1/4 inch gusset here. Let's see if I can show you that 1/4 inch gusset. You see that 1/4 inch there? There you go, you can see it there. Okay, that's going to allow this to wrap around, and I'll be able to use a magnet for the closure. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me grab my magnets. Alright, so I have these magnets from Country Craft Creations. And this allows me to use, I think I have the wrong, yeah. I had started to use one of these magnets and then didn't need it, and I put the wrong little paper on it. Well, actually, that's okay. All right, let's see what we're going to do here. I get myself a piece of double-sided sticky. Go ahead and place that there so that those can magnetize together. All right, so let's go ahead and place my magnet. I've just put it somewhat in the center. Okay, and this way I can put my magnet right on that double-sided tape. I've been doing it this way for years. Just like that. And then I can get this situated. Try to make sure the folio lines up all the way to the inside edge, and then I can press that double-sided tape down. Good. Okay. Give it a good burnish there. Alright, and just like that we have our little folio. So now we have our magnet closure. We open up, this is the left hand side of our folio. We have our first page here, this flap. We have another flap here. I need to glue that down a little bit better. Burnish that down a little bit better. Okay, then we have our right side folio flap here. We have our inside large flap, small flap. We have this pull up piece here, which is another large flap here. Okay, and then we have our pocket inside. So let me go ahead and close this up. And that was our quick tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, everyone, happy crafting, you all. Bye.